Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Writers Mindscape. I think I'd rather have you do that than talk about the burning bush again.
Okay. I mean, I can't bring it up. I mean, we made that rule. I'm not going to bring it up.
Sure you're not.
Nope, not at all. We're moving on to a new subject. We're talking about governments now.
You're going to find a way to link that to government. I guarantee it.
I don't have anything at this time.
I didn't say you don't have anything at this time.
I might find a way. I don't know.
Oh, you will.
But right now, I don't have anything.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to a new area of focus. We are going to be talking about government.
Heck yeah.
So get your pillow ready. This is going to be boring.
It's not going to be that boring.
No, we're not going to be diving into the detail that you do in the school and be monotone voiced and not have any emotion.
I mean, we could try to go for ASMR for it. Yes, we're going to talk down here.
No.
Going to get right deep inside your ear.
No.
Okay. I mean, whatever.
No.
Anyway, let's get right into it. We're
Yeah.
talking about governments, types
Yeah.
of government.
Yeah, so we're starting focusing on governments, but we're going to be starting with types of governments.
Yes.
Here's a simple solution. Google types of governments. See what you get.
Bing, bang, done. All right, moving on.
Exactly. That was a quick podcast. 1 minute. That's a
Yeah.
record.
Woo, all right.
No, you'll find that there's so many different types of governments out there that you may not even ever heard of.
Exactly.
Because you may think that, there's only like 5.
No.
No, there's like 5 that are most commonly known.
That's the major 5.
Then there's so many other versions out there. I think I saw one webpage that probably had like 50.
Ooh.
Um,
I mean, yeah, there's a type of government for every type of gathering of people.
but also you gotta remember that this was also a database for like writers. So
okay.
it's probably the ones that were fictional in there that
Yeah.
were made up as well. So
I mean,
some in there, but still, it gives you the point. It gives you show you what you can come up with on your own.
Right. Right.
So we're just going to be talking a brief of a few of the main known ones. If you want some more on what not so known types of
Lesser known.
yeah, that one.
We do suggest actually doing, like, if you're going to spend the time to set up a fully fledged government in your writing, then take the time and do some research. Don't just throw something out there. Because sometimes you might think it's one thing and then it's something else.
Yeah. So we're going to go through 10 most commonly known government types.
Okay. All right. Where are we starting off?
We're going to start off with, since we just finished up religions,
Yes.
let's start with that.
Theocracy?
Adam, what is a theocracy to you?
For me, it is a type of government based upon a religion.
Wrong.
What? I'm sorry. What?
This website I'm looking at says it's run by God.
Well, I mean,
maybe some priests in there.
yes, they do decide that their power of government is ordained by God, but it's still the church running the day-to-day life.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. If you want to twist on a theocracy, you could literally say God runs it.
Right.
Like a lot of people would say.
I mean, a lot of people have been standing around not knowing what to do because they haven't received word for so long.
Yeah. Well, think of it this way: like some people, like I'm coming from my Baptist background,
Yes.
and how the Baptists love to point out that Catholics think the Pope is God.
That is not true.
No, they don't think that.
Not at all.
Some probably in the church do think that, but it's not part of the doctrine.
No.
It's a bias. Let me tell you that. But it's one way you can use that in your
Yeah, it could
theocracy.
be that, your sitting head of government is deemed your God.
Or better yet, he actually has great physical power
Because of where he's at.
Not even just where he's at, it's just he has power, so therefore people see him as God because it's beyond what everyone else can do.
Egyptians actually believed that the pharaoh was God.
Yes.
A god.
Same with the Japanese.
Yes.
Right up until World War II ended.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's one of those things where it just kind of shows you can go with a lot of things. We're not going to spend a lot of time with each one of these areas, just telling you what you can do. But if something interesting pops up, we'll mention it really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of those things you can do. And here's an interesting take on theocracy.
Yes.
What if you have a triune God? Not like we're 3 gods in one. No, three separate gods.
3 separate gods, and that is how, your government is run.
How do you break it up?
Who's more powerful than who?
Yeah, or do they equal? Yeah, you can have so much fun with that. All right, let's move on to the next one. It actually goes really well with theocracy.
Oh, yes?
Monarchy.
Oh, yes.
Define a monarchy.
It is a king, queen, a royal family that runs the country.
Yes, whatever their claim is, how they have...
be it king, that they've owned more land than anybody else.
They've been blessed by the gods.
Yeah.
Royal blood, whatever, special blood, higher blood, whatever you want to go with for that. But what you were going to say? Something about going well with theocracy, I think you were going with?
Oh, no, I was going to ask what else goes well with theocracy. But yes, monarchy can also be a theocracy.
Yes. Look around. There's been tons throughout history.
If you want to think about it, technically the Vatican is run that way.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Roman City. It's a tiny little place, but it's technically run as a theocracy.
Yep.
And a monarchy.
Yes. Because you think of it this way, what was left of the Roman Empire after Rome's fall? The Holy Roman Empire came next.
Yes.
And that just didn't go away. It just kind of shrank.
Yeah.
In a sense.
And it continued to shrink.
Yes. So, but there's monarchy. I think we've covered this. If you're looking for some interesting ways to throw a curveball into monarchy, is instead of having just a kingdom, look at princedoms, queendoms, even princessdoms.
The Italian city-states.
Yeah, just look at different ways of you can throw it into different ways of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excellent look at book you should read, a series.
Yes? What is it?
Hey, Adam, who do you think wrote this book?
Stephen King.
No. Brandon Sanderson.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
It's a Stormlight Archive series. And he has the main kingdom is you have princedoms with a king over uniting them all.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You could think of it, not a high king, but a king that overrings them all. So you could look at it that way as well. Look at baronies as well.
Yeah.
Compared to a kingdom. And you have so much fun with that. There.
Monarchies can be fun, though.
Yes, they can have fun.
Royal court drama is so much fun.
Not just that, but it's almost always seen in fantasy. So if you're going to do something like that into fantasy, you might want to have...
It's a pretty standard template.
Yeah, you might want... If you're going to want it to be unique, you better come up with something interesting.
Go, take a different route.
Yeah. If you want some real fun, throw a monarchy in sci-fi.
Yes.
There you go. You can have some fun with that. Hey, Adam, the next few we're not very familiar with.
Oh.
We're going to probably have some trouble with this.
Okay, all right.
The next one is democracy.
I have no idea how that actually works.
Yeah, I don't know either. Here, let me read what it says. Government is where the people directly rule themselves by voting for every decision.
Yes.
Yep. Nope. I don't know that one.
Nope. That doesn't really make that much sense.
No.
But yeah, in a standard democracy, everyone has equal vote, and it is run that way.
That's why the United States is not a full-out democracy.
No, we're a democratic republic.
Yes, because if we were a democracy, we would all be voting for everything all the fucking time.
Yes, every single minute detail.
Yes, we'd all have to vote on everything.
It works in very small... True democracy is a town.
Yes.
It does not work on a national scale. It works on a very good smaller scale.
Yeah, if you want to have some fun with it, try doing it on a national scale.
Go for it.
You can probably have to see how you can evolve it to maybe make it work.
Oh, in sci-fi, it could definitely work. Think about it. You get a notification on your phone. At that moment, you can make a choice of whether or not to vote on that. Yep. And it constantly, it's just like, hey, here's notification, something to vote on. You're like,
yep. You could
yes or no. Boop.
You could turn it off, so saying you're abstaining from your votes for the day because you don't want to do it.
Today is not going to be the day.
Yep. And what kind of things people could slip in there last minute.
Exactly.
to try to get past and all that. You could have some fun with it. The next one, again, we don't know really much about.
Oh, what is this one?
The Republic.
Oh, the Republic.
The only thing I know about the Republic is from Star Wars. I don't think there's ever been a Republic in this world.
Yes, actually, the actual Roman Empire.
No, that doesn't.
Because you voted on, from your local municipality, you voted on a representative who went to Rome and represented you there.
Pretty much standard things. I don't think that.
Now,
the
Greeks were closer to democratic rule.
Yeah.
Democracy.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
But they were still kind of monarchies as well.
Yes, it was an interesting.
They had a weird, like, the Italians had the same thing going on at one point. It was just like,
yeah,
all right, who's actually in charge around here?
Yeah, it was interesting.
But no, a great example is
Rome.
the Roman Empire,
Yeah.
because, you voted to have so-and-so go to Rome to represent you, and they would come back, and yes, at that time it didn't really work.
And even when you had a Caesar,
They still had the Senate.
Different times throughout history, the power of the Senate was stronger or weaker
under the Caesars of the time.
Yes. The interesting about Rome was it was the government part for the rulers. What was it called? It's like a 3-head government.
Oh, I really don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a specific one. You can look it up, but it was the Caesars came into power when Julius Caesar seized power.
Well, he didn't seize power. It was thrusted upon him.
Yeah, because he
didn't want to be emperor.
No, but some other the people in charge died as well.
It was a perfect storm for him to suddenly become emperor when he didn't even want to be there.
Yeah,
and he was just like, I don't really want to be here, and everyone's like, you're pissing us off, man, and then killed him. And he was just like, thank you.
Yeah,
that's actually the whole thing with his friend betraying him at the end. He was just like, it wasn't et tu, Brute. It was just like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't
seriously, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, it's an interesting story, but go look up the government system of the Roman Empire.
Yeah,
and how it all worked with Caesars, before Caesars, after the Caesars, with the Senate and their power. It's interesting. So the next one, I've never heard of this.
Oh, you've never heard of this?
Never heard of this.
What is this?
Democratic Republic.
Oh, what is this? What is this?
It's like some idiot took the first two and kind of
combined them together?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Who would do that?
Some idiot.
No, but
his name is Adam.
The U.S. probably, but the U.S. is a good example of a democratic republic. Technically, Mexico is as well.
Yep. I do love how people in this country, depending on what size you are, no matter where you are in the political spectrum, you'll always hear, "Oh, you're gonna ruin the republic." Like, what about the republic? We were a republic. We're a democratic republic. We're not a true republic.
We're not a true republic.
We're not a true democracy.
No.
So
everyone gets to vote.
Yes.
Finally, over time.
Yeah. But
to a point.
But the thing is, it's one of those things where when people like to use that argument, you're ruining the republic.
Yeah.
A republic. And like, you need to look up what those words mean because.
But no, like, really, it is a wonderful style. It is a pretty decent, good hybrid style of government.
Yes.
Because you go, no, we have representatives.
Yes.
But all of us get to vote on this stuff.
Except for DC.
And Puerto Rico.
And Puerto Rico, but...
but, whatever. I'm sorry, guys.
One's a nation's capital, the other one's an island.
Yeah. And, I mean, they're not a state, so I'm sorry.
But no, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. You can just look at the problems we've had in the last 20 years.
Yeah, that we've had...
on both sides of the aisle, and you can just see how much fun you can have with that.
Oh yeah,
set in fantasy, sci-fi, whatever you want to do with it, you can have so much fun with that type of government.
Because you can show, a government working at peak performance, or dysfunction.
Oh yeah. So the next one on here is a
plutocracy.
Yeah, plutocracy. But I've always been known the basically it's the rich
plutocracy.
Rule. It's more of an oligarchy.
Yeah, I've always thought it was more of an oligarchy.
There may be a difference between the two, but oligarchy's not on here, so we'll have to look that up.
I mean, you can also kind of just say that it's a fancy name for feudalism.
Yeah, but basically, it's the rich rule.
Yes.
You have money, corporations.
They're
anything,
the dukes and duchesses of the new era.
Yeah, they determine the laws. Even if there's an official government system set up,
they still end up.
They refer to any representative. Instead of having a state representative or your local representative,
you have a corporate.
Will have a representative there to do it. Or, no, seriously, the heads of all the corporations get together and do it. It's whatever you want. Think of new ways you could have if you want to do this.
I mean, one of them can be a. What did I hear that it was going to. That the idea name on it? I've always called it a corporatocracy.
Yes, I've heard that one.
Where it's actually corporations that own so much land and stuff that they just go, yeah, we're actually just in charge here.
Yeah.
And then it does become more feudal because you're just like, okay, well, we own this land, but we need to trade with that guy for that stuff. And and then you end up having pretty much a version of a republic going on.
Yeah.
But it devolves into feudalism.
Yeah. Pretty much.
The rich rule. They pay us to live here.
Actually, I think the difference between the oligarchy
and work for them.
And this one is that oligarchy are the rich determine leadership.
Yes.
I think that's the difference. Where this one, the rich actually rule.
Yes.
Now that I think about it.
Oh, yes.
That's the difference. There was an interesting paper out there, survey and study done a few years ago.
Yep.
That by, I think it was Harvard. Maybe it was Princeton, but I'm not sure.
Maybe even Yale. Who knows?
No, it's one of the Harvard or Princeton. I can't remember which one of the two did it. That stated that the United States is an oligarchy.
I mean, there's an argument there.
Yes, but we're not going to argue that there. It's just an interesting.
It's a good theory.
It's an interesting topic to look at.
Yeah.
And look at it if you want to do something like that for your stories. You can kind of see what they did. But anyway, we're moving on to totalitarian.
Totalitarian. Yeah, yes. That's usually, I view that as it's a military leadership who has complete and utter control over everything.
Think of Sparta.
Yeah, the Spartans.
Very much that way.
Really, the National Socialist Party of Germany.
Also think of, basically you could think of any territory that is run by
a warlord.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was looking for the word.
That's still a tyranny.
Yeah, it's totalitarian.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. And here it talks about Nazi Germany. The Khans ruled Mongols. To early Rome, stuff like that.
Yeah, early Rome would have been considered.
Yes, because they were very war-based.
Well, it was, you live this way.
Yes.
This is how it's going to be from now on.
Yep. So, just to think of it that way. If you want to figure out how to use this, it's not that hard.
No. It's. I mean, in sci-fi, you could call it a police state.
Yep. It just really comes up with.
In fantasy, it's a warlord who owns just totally has an area locked down, and people don't come in and out.
Has the money to make sure these forces to so that you are following what they want to do,
right?
And to fund their wars.
Exactly.
So you can have fun with this one. Next one is tribal setup. So this is going to be more like in a less developed area, or if you really want to have some fun with this, you could try to do like a monarchy tribal system there. A little interesting.
I like that.
Into that, but it's really, again, think of Africa, think of Native Americans, think of pretty much
jungles of South America.
Yeah, think of pretty much any place at any time in history. You eventually would have this.
Yeah.
At some point, whether they were standalone tribes that followed the herds all the time, or they eventually, because almost everyone eventually settled down.
Yes.
So you can think about that there. The next one, this one would be the most fun to do.
Yes.
And it can be very hard to do.
Okay.
Anarchy.
Oh, yes. That is actually a very difficult one. Usually, if in writing, you'll see that as a post-apocalyptic,
yes.
Where it actually breaks down into a version of communism.
Or in other words, you could just think of it that there are rules and laws out there, but no one follows.
Right.
There's not enough people to enforce them, so you can.
So it's just like, hey, look, I'm making a quick deal with you. These are the rules of how we're going to conduct business between each other.
Yep. And it's like there are no. The basic anarchy is there's no rules.
Right.
So it's
you just end up in a positive anarchy. You end up seeing that everyone works towards just being even between everyone. It's just like, hey, you know what? We all get to eat today.
Yeah.
All right, we're cool.
Like you said, it works more on like a post-apocalyptic area. Hold on.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, from a great show to look at is Jericho.
Yeah.
That was good because you saw how people had to go. Oh, there is no law right now. Like, we've got the sheriff over here, but overall, there is no law. We're not calling in another town. We don't know whether or not they decided to get feral in the last 48 hours.
Yep. One thing that usually happens in an anarchy is gangs and
yes,
rise up, or bullies will rise up.
You have warlords that could rise up.
Yes. Another good one you could look at is revolution.
Yes.
You don't really get to see what happens after the power goes off. You get to see pieces here and there, but the United States breaks up into multiple different territories.
Yeah.
Based on who rules for that. And the next one is my favorite one. And
your favorite?
And a clear person doesn't understand the difference between these two. But communism and socialism.
Okay.
So
for me, true communism is a community working together for the betterment of everyone.
Yes.
If that means that the betterment is making sure you got food for the winter, it means that you're making sure that everyone gets food for the winter.
Or if it's making sure that no one has jealousy, so everyone has the exact same thing.
I mean, usually you're working so hard that nobody notices anyway.
Yeah, because you're doing lots of work in these.
Now, you also have, great example, Russia.
Yes.
Look at when it was the USSR. That was communism.
I'd say it's broken communism.
Yeah, that was like
that wasn't true.
That was ruling party communism.
As far as I know of my history, and I could be wrong, but there's never been a true communist state.
Not by itself.
No, and I mean true.
Once again, like a true democracy works in a very small scale.
China, communist China.
Once again, a single party.
Yes, it's really comes down to but it was done better than Russia did.
It's doing better.
Yes, but also they've enriched some of the democracy ties over the years. So
they are very slowly moving to a representative style government.
Yeah, if things
kind of.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you want to see some interesting news, go look up what's going on in China.
Yeah,
it's fascinating.
It's odd.
Yeah, really odd. But no, it just kind of goes to show you what you can do.
Yes.
There's no true communist party or kingdom or whatever you want to call them.
No. It still ends up being almost a totalitarian style
for it. Yeah. So, and then define the difference between socialists.
Okay, socialism is society coming together and deciding what their common goal will be and trying to achieve that for as much of the population as possible.
Okay.
So, great examples of that. The Nordic states.
Oh, yeah.
Denmark. And to a certain percentage, Europe.
Yeah. If you want to see socialism done wrong, look down to Argentina.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Argentina at one point.
Yeah. But what's going on?
Venezuela.
Venezuela is the one I'm thinking of right now. But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there are other factors that cause that.
Oh yeah, but again, just it goes to show you that there's ways to do it.
There are bad sides to it.
Yes, everything is a bad side to everything.
Yes,
out there. So it just kind of goes to show you that. But yeah, there is a big difference between communism and socialism, but there are commonalities between the two.
Because
much.
I mean, both of them are. That's the community. It's the people coming together for a single goal. Now, Denmark has a great example. Is that was their goal is to just have, to just make sure that no one falls through the cracks.
Yeah,
they are a true nanny state, and I actually look at it and go, we could do that. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to do it perfectly right away, but we can get there.
Yeah. So, those are the top 10 most well-known areas. There are others out there, but again...
Use whatever, do research.
You do research.
Find something that makes you go, hey, this looks like fun.
Yeah. Combine different elements and see how you can deal with it.
Yeah.
And just kind of figure out...
Monarchy with a representative-style government. One side
monarchy with
a communist
style.
Yeah.
You can have so much fun with these things. And look at some of the ones we didn't talk about here. Like I said, I had found a website that had 50 of them, different types of government systems on there.
Yeah.
Half of them I didn't understand, and I'm pretty sure they were based off of some fiction, but other ones
whatever.
Just never heard of before. But go do that and see what you can come up with, and have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly.
If your world's not going to be dealing much with the government,
then you can just write a one-page description and move on.
Yeah, just deal with basically, if you're doing a fantasy, just do the kingdom.
Yeah,
it's a base thing. If you're not going to
be
dealing with
here's
them
the
much,
king, here's the queen, we're moving on.
You maybe know the rulers and the family, but that's about it. You don't really dive into there, so you
just
don't have to worry about it. Yeah,
this dude's my boss.
Yeah, you don't really have to
really.
Yeah.
Depends on your story.
Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you.
Yes.
Since you made it to the end of this podcast, make sure you give us a thumbs up.
Boom.
While you're right there, go ahead and subscribe.
Ding.
Ring that bell.
Ding a ding.
And what's the tagline this week? If you say join us, I'm gonna slap you.
No. Hey, whatever you do, don't base your government system on a man talking to a burning bush.
Oh, God.
Get it in there.
No, but yeah, so whatever we're doing, subscribe so you know when new stuff goes up. We have new stuff coming up all the time here in the 01 Podcast group. Let us know down in the comment section what you thought of this podcast. Here's a question for you. Post your most weirdest type of government you've seen in fiction or can find on the internet.
All right.
With a little explanation so we actually know what you're talking about. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, you will listen to us. We will talk to you on our next podcast, and we hope you have a great writing week. Anything else, Adam?
Nope, that's it.